This is the morning after the storm. Well, the storm isn't quite over yet, actually. And I didn't know anything about it. All I was told was that there was going to be high winds. Oh, a few little... There's a wee thing come off the Bealtaine. The high winds were actually the tail end of the storm called... Was it called Henry or something? And they're sort of lingering about just a little bit. So my plans to set off to Belfast are being held back a bit because there's no electricity in the cottage. I'm going to have to turn this camera around because the wind's blowing into it. There's no electricity in the cottage, so I have to wait for the electricity to come back on in order just to have a shower, because my shower has an electric pump because there's not enough pressure in the well water, you know, to kind of pump the water through into the shower. So I'm going to give it about an hour or so, and if the electricity hasn't come back on, I'm just going to have a good old body wash, as my mother used to say. So I'm venturing out. I'm still in my gym jams, but I have my wellies on, and the energy is quite high because, of course, you know, with the wind kind of sends the energy up very high. I remember years ago when I was teaching, and I was teaching primary children, so they're just the young, you know, the, level 1 children. If there was if there was a wind outside at all, the energy in the classroom used to go right up, you know, almost through the ceiling. So it's a similar kind of vibe going on now this morning. Jack, come back up, come on. Come on. So what I'm going to do, because yesterday evening, just so this is a little chair that my daughter has bought me, and I have to put it together. Yesterday evening, I managed to get up into the stone circle area, and I was just cutting back, sort of clearing the pathway, and then I had a guy come with a strimmer. I hired someone with a strimmer to come up and strim the paths for me, just to open them up a little bit, because my strimmer has given up the ghost. It's not working, and it's actually cheaper to hire someone than to go and buy another strimmer, and it's only once every few weeks, I think. No. So what I did do, once I could get into the area, you can see just now where the path is nicely cleared. What I did do then, I got into the stone circle and pruned all the willow. Sorry, I'm pausing my speech here because I'm having to just watch where I walk because there's been some heavy rain. So here we go. It's looking a little bit more accessible, as you can see. And then going with the principles that I practice here on chop and drop, all the willow that I did cut has just been put behind the stones, and that then goes into feeding the new willow that's growing. That sweet chestnut trees come on very well. So I'll just step out of the circle. I've got to prune this little bit of ash There's a branch hanging down here. So that's on my list of things to do. So you can see that looks a lot better. And I think James did a bit of strimming up around here as well. Yes, indeed he has, which is good. Just again, just enough to open up the area. We talked for a while before he started. I just wanted to make sure that he was understanding, you know, where I was coming from regarding cutting, because I don't like to cut or prune anything unnecessarily. There we go. It's not too bad though. Now you can see all the blossom out on the elder tree. It's looking fabulous. So I'm just going to go back down this way. You see this little hedge of spirea has come on very well indeed. There's the beautiful elder. Fabulous, isn't it? And the little path. I did cut back some of the lime trees as well. Just the overhanging branches, just the little bits. So that's it, just a short video. Just trying to keep the lines of communication open. My father used to say that. He used to say, Colette, it's important to keep the lines of communication open at all times. And I've often thought that, you know, when listening to so-called world leaders bickering and saying that they're not going to talk to each other and, you know, criticising and going on. I just think, come on guys, just keep the lines of communication open. You know, costs nothing to be polite. Doesn't cost anything to be civil and sociable. We're never going to agree with everyone. I mean, that's the beauty really of the human race, and that we're all different. Each one of us is quite different. We just shouldn't expect everyone to be the same. This laurel arch is really deepened. I'm just trying to work out now the depth of it. So going back to here, I think the depth must be about 8 feet. It's amazing. Incredible. Just from 2 laurel bushes. So, this is my guiding principle. Well, guiding principles. Little mantras that I learnt from my parents, my grandmother. Little mantras that I've picked up along the way. Things that make sense. Basic good manners. And kindness. At all times, kindness. But not to be a doormat. There we go. on that note, I'll finish. So blessings to you all.